Okay. So with this assignment that I gave you last week, this was writing your story essentially from 0 to 28. How did Lorenzo get to become who Lorenzo is now? And I had you 10 to 15 minutes each day write out your story. So what is it that you kind of took away from doing that exercise?
I felt that it helped me, revisit a place that again that I felt like I got away from, or that I don't really think about on a day-to-day basis. So with that assignment, it allowed me to grow more of, I guess I have passion for what I do, but it reminded me to kind of like go harder, or why I go harder, or why I do this on a daily basis. And it kind of allowed me to tap into the root of what I do on a day-to-day basis, man. And like I said, it made me emotional going back that far. And I actually sat down with my mother, who played a big part in, who I am today, because she was a single mother who raised myself, being the oldest, and my younger siblings. And it all started with her. She taught me a lot. She always told me, I was a special kind of kid. I paid attention. I took heed. And, I owe that much to her. So if it's okay, I just want to focus on an experience that I had as a child that I feel as though I carry with me. And, so if I can read it off.
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah, but by the way, with this one, keep whatever you want to keep to yourself and share whatever you want to share. We can talk about that.
All right. Perfect, man. Thank you. So I'm going to start it. So it was just like free writing. I remember you just saying, just free write whatever came to your mind. Mm-hmm. I took it off paper. I wrote it here, but I took it off the yellow paper so I can read it from my phone.
Because you wrote it like pen and paper first, right?
Yeah, pen and paper.
That's good.
I felt the connection when I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I paused a lot.
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of it, just like, man, just thinking about it. But all right, so this is what I wrote. So I said, I can still hear the sound of my leather jacket, as my mother put it on. As I walked with my mother down the street on one of the most notorious neighborhoods in Atlantic City, New Jersey, my mother had bundled me up on this cold night. I don't remember if it was fall or winter. All I know is it was freezing. We were on our way to my grandmother's apartment, just about a few blocks away from our home. It seemed as if it was taking forever to get to my grandma's front door as we strolled down the street. We talked the entire trip until it was time to throw stones at my grandma's window. This one occasion I remember, because it wasn't phones back in the 90s and stuff. And my grandma, she had her brothers and sisters living with my mom's mother had my mom's brothers and sisters living with her. We always had a full house, mm-hmm. Growing up, it was always like full of family members in our house, cousins, aunts, uncles, you name it. So I guess my mom didn't want to wake everybody up. So we would pick up I would look on the ground for little small stones so my mom can throw them up to the window to get my Nana's attention, mm-hmm. so that she can come down and let us inside. All right. So I said, it seemed as if it was taking forever to get to my grandma's front door as we strolled down the street. I said, we talked the entire trip until it was time for us to throw small stones at my grandma's window so that she can wake up and let us inside. Before we began walking, my mother and I was in our small one-bedroom apartment. I recall her getting me dressed, and I asked, and I was asking, typical 3-year-old questions. But this one question in particular stuck out to me the most. It was, why are we getting dressed in the dark? I recollect my mother keeping my mind off the question I had asked, but as I got older, I realized that our electric had been cut off. After some time, we headed toward our destination. I continued to be inquisitive about everything my little eyes could put into perspective, and my mom answered without hesitation. we turned it into a game until the moment that we spotted a shooting star, the first shooting star I ever seen, man. It came like at the perfect time. The first one I ever saw, my mother quickly explained to me that I had to close my eyes and make a wish for anything that I wanted. I was about 4 years old at this time. It's like God paused that star so that I could have this experience. We both closed our eyes tightly and sent our vibrations out into the universe. She said, Boo. Boo, that's my nickname that she calls me. She said, Boo, you can open your eyes now. I jumped with excitement, eager to share the wishes we just made, but Mom told me that if we share, the wish won't come true. She told me my wish is something I have to hold on to until it happens. The story doesn't end here because we still had to walk about 2 blocks to my grandma's. However, it was in that moment that I learned to hold on to my wishes, which as I grew older became dreams and later became prayers. This life experience has caused me to get creative with my thinking. It also helped me develop a strong sense of faith because I had to believe that the wish will come true someday if I hold on to it long enough. So I kind of finished it there. And man, when I was talking to my mom about that, I got real emotional. Dang.
That's good. That's good.
Sorry, dude.
No. Don't be sorry. That's good.
All right, I got to toughen up.
This is exactly where it's supposed to take you. Exactly.
Right. So I get emotional because if you look back in the little passage that I wrote, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, rough neighborhood, coming up, ghetto. Mm-hmm. But I had great parents. I had a great mother that I don't know, man. That I do know, but I want to calm down so that I can get it out, man. But I just feel like that experience, it allowed me to be where I am today. Mm. As far as like mentally, goal oriented, ambitious, because I'm probably like the only person in my family that's probably ever like really done anything as far as like venturing out on their own that I know, from my immediate family. My mother, she grew up with 14 brothers and sisters. I have about 50 cousins, and everybody comes to me. And when I think about it, I'm like, how was I, so gifted, or how was I so special? And it started with that, It started with that experience, with that shooting star. Mm-hmm. That I never saw again. I remember my mom bought me a telescope too. I just kept looking in the sky just so I can make another wish. Because we were always, be in little situations. So just that experience just pushed me, because I never, wanted my mom or my siblings or anybody that I cared about, I never wanted them to go through anything, Damn, man.
Hey, it's okay.
Told you, dude, like super.
No. Even with me telling you ahead of time that this would get you there, did it still surprise you when it got you there when you were writing?
Yeah, man. I got stuck, man, and I called my mom, and I just was thanking her, because it wouldn't be possible, you know, like she's here helping us, you know, with my kids, but her instilling that in me allowed me to free her of work, you know, allowed me to free my wife of, you know, work. And there's nothing wrong with work, but when you can do it with your family, when you can kind of control your own destiny, it's a different feeling, you know, it's a different life experience, just having that freedom. So I believe that that's when it started for me. You know, I looked so far back, and that was like the first memory that came to my mind. And just it taught me so much. It taught me to, if I want something, I can put it in my mind. I can dream about it, but I got to hold on to it. I got to be, you know, in different life experiences came about different lessons and teachable moments where she just told me like about being dedicated, and that allowed me to revert back to that, you know, that experience with her walking down the street where it's like, okay, I got to be dedicated to this dream that, you know, I want to pursue, that I want to manifest, you know. So just that instance, man, it opened so many doors for me in my life. And thank you for allowing me to go back there, man, because I get so caught up in business. You know, we have those conversations. I get so caught up in it. I never want to give up because I fight. Even if it's not going right, I still put up a fight. However, this exercise has allowed me to really get deep into the core of why I am, you know, get deep into the core of why I'm the way that I am and exactly where I'm trying to go with this. Yes, I make money. Yes, it's money in the business that I'm in, but it's bigger than that. You know, I never want my mom to be without lights.
Yes.
You know, I never want my kids to experience that. You know, I have 3 children. I never want them to experience that. So I just keep pushing, man. And that experience right there, I feel like it has a big impact in my day-to-day life. And everybody may not understand it. You know, my wife won't understand it when I'm saying certain things.
You know?
Yeah. So with that being said, everybody not understanding it. And I believe we had this conversation before, you know, about, we didn't record it, but you said, Lorenzo, you know, that's you're pushing your beliefs on them. But it wasn't necessarily this belief. It was a belief as though I felt as though somebody wouldn't be receptive to something that I had to say. But a lot of, like you said, they don't have to, but in a way, the closest people to me, I want them to understand that, you know, like, this is why I'm doing it. You know, it's not for fame, attention, money, and all these things. I know I can have whatever it is that I want because I achieve, you know, so, you know, more than I ever thought I would financially. But it's more than that for me, you know. I never want my kids to ask that question that I asked, you know, my mother. And my mom, she was a good mom. She would never allow me to see like the struggles that she went through. So that's the part where I said that she, you know, she just took my mind off it. You know, she didn't want. She just. I remember.
Not only did she take your mind off of it, she told you to look up and she dreamed with you. You know, in a way, because not only, because that is a question of looking back. Why did we do what we just did? That's a looking back question. She's saying essentially in her own mom way, Lorenzo, look up.
Yeah.
And that's what you did.
Oh man, yes sir, man. And until this day, you know, she let me be a big boy, but she's there, you know, just like your parents. She's there, and she always reminds me, not of that situation, but dude, special, keep going, you know. You have a gift, like don't let up. And yeah, man, that was one that I really wanted to touch on.
Good.
I hope I didn't mess the video up. Whoever sees it, man.
These aren't supposed to any type of way. If someone connects with them, someone connects with them. You know, this is not any type of performance. This is just if someone can. This is how it is with all my stuff. I don't care. No one or 100,000, whatever. If some people find it helpful, that's great. So yeah, you don't got to worry about messing nothing up. Yeah, don't worry about that. So for a moment, I want to sit on that one experience that you had. I also want to tell you why I had you do that exercise. And then because you said that you got to go at like 5:30ish, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try and respect your time there, and I'll talk to you about what I want you to do this upcoming week. Okay. So I'll kind of just break those down. So one, when I'm just thinking about that experience for you, like, right? Like, I think, well, first of all, I think you wanting the people who are closest to you to know that experience, I think is only natural. And I think it's appropriate, you know, like with anyone that you're close to, you want them to know what made you, you know? So I think that's a good thing. I think if you were to try and have everyone understand that, obviously that would, you know, not everyone would, but I think that's a good thing that you are sharing that with people that are closest. And I appreciate you sharing that with me because that's
right. Thank you, man. You helped me tap back into it, man.
Yeah, it's a touching story. So two of the things that I pulled out from it that I wanted to kind of have you reflect on in the now is two themes was the trials and the looking up. It was only the looking up only happened once the trials happened in your life. You know what I'm saying? And so right now, you're not going to have that same one again that you had in childhood. But the trials that you're having happen right now, just remember when the trials are happening, you look up. And here's what I love about what you said. I actually wrote this down because I talked about the difference between wishes and dreams, but you did it one further. And I love that. My wish, the shooting star, became a dream, which became a I love that. And I love that. And so I'm just thinking about you right now. I'm like, all right, you're definitely going to have trials right now. Your vision's big. You want to go big places. You got to look up. And then from looking up, you know, take it into prayer. So I love that little, I wrote it down right here. And I just love that transition.
Thank you.
So to talk a little bit about why I had you go there. All of our conversations, I told you, I want to get as macro as possible with you. A lot of questions that we go over are micro, they're tactics questions. Like I've said one of my biggest goals with you is to help you start observing you. Like I can observe you, but I want you to begin to do it on yourself. That way you can begin to pull yourself to this vision. Like that's what I feel like one of my roles with you is to, because you got all the stuff in your head. I want you to start seeing the stuff, why you are the way you are now. What do you believe? What are your, systems for doing all of these different things that input to your current day-to-day operations? That's why we went. And so that was the idea of this, to be like, all right, because now, you know what you can do at 30 years old, you can also do the same exercise and you can be like, okay, let me do it again. You never know. Different ones may come up because dude, here's what's really weird about the mind. We have things that come up only in certain circumstances, like certain environments, certain triggers. You might notice a part of yourself that has been gone for like 5 or 10 years. Where did that come from? And so the point of doing this, Lorenzo, not was just to do a one time, okay, let's look back. It was to go, you now have a tool at your ready access to use at any time to say, what did make me? What is going on deep in there that's causing me to be who I am now? And so this is something that I want to empower you with to use whenever. And then you can also, as you're building people, say, hey, let me do a little exercise with you. We did that one with the values that your mind was going.
Right.
You can start doing these things with people and it allows people to go observe themselves, because people think that they are what they are now. Like that's what people's identity is. Who am I now? What do I like? All these things, but they don't go, what made me who I am now? Sometimes they think about, oh, well, I applied to UF, so I got into UF that, No. What made you before that? And then what made you have work ethic before that? What got there? Was it parents? Was it internal? Did something bad happen? All these different things. And then that can apply because now you see the pattern, and, go forward from there. So I want you to also think about this exercise in that way. For all the different stories that you had in your mind, look at those, observe those, appreciate those, but also view, okay, what did I do that was able to just help me access, these memories in the first place? I want you to think about that. in relation to yourself and the people around you. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Any questions with that?
Man, that was no questions. I definitely want to say thank you again, man, just for that. When I was doing it, I'm like, throughout the week, I'm like, man, this is touching a part of me. Like, what the heck? Like, what are we doing here, man? It's bananas. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? It went from the values to this. And it's like, man, it's just opening me up, man. And
yep.
Yeah, man, it's bananas how I was working, but
good,
very helpful.
Good. So with this upcoming week, here's what I want to do with you.
Okay.
We're now going to. Now you're going to talk to 70-year-old Lorenzo.
Okay.
Okay. 28-year-old Lorenzo is going to now have a discussion with 70-year-old Lorenzo.
All right.
Whether you've thought of him or not, he's there. He is there. And your job now is to look at him, observe him. What is his life like? What is he doing? Where is he giving? What is his mind like? What are his skills? Okay. You're going to observe the 70-year-old Lorenzo. And if you want to say 90-year-old, whatever, the old you, the old ideal you. And that's essentially what this exercise is going to do. It's going to look at the old ideal you. And who is he? And you're going to look at him, observe him, and write. And so in this manner, when you looked at your 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old Lorenzo, in a way, even though that Lorenzo is not there, in a way, he still is there. And in a way, even though the 70-year-old Lorenzo isn't here yet, in a way, he is.
Right. Yeah.
Just like the 28-year-old was there, even when the 15-year-old was. And I'm not going to discussion on what is time, but that's essentially what we're doing. We're going to take a time travel and the future ideal you. Okay. So Monday through Friday, take 15 minutes each day and write as if he exists. And I want you to tell me about him. Tell me about his life. Tell me about the skills, his mindset. What is he doing? Where is he giving? Where is he live? All the things of what life includes. Mm-hmm. You're going to see your brain tap into something that it hasn't probably tapped into before. You've probably thought about the future. You've probably thought about plans, goals, but this is different. It's you in the future. Okay.
Okay. Right.
10 to 15 minutes each day, and then we'll talk about that next week.
All right. Perfect, man. I look forward to it.
All right.
I hope this one brings smiles, man. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No problem. All right, bro. I'll see you. Okay.
All right. See you, man. Talk to you soon.